Christmas Eve, 1945. Fayetteville, West Virginia. The Sodder family home is filled with the sound of laughter and the joy of the holiday season. George and Jenny Sodder and their 10 children are preparing to celebrate, completely unaware that this night would become the beginning of one of the most chilling mysteries in American history. Before we dive into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. George Sodder, an Italian immigrant, and his wife Jenny had built a good life for their family. They were well respected in their community, and their children were thriving. But beneath the surface of their idyllic life lay tensions that would soon come to light. Just past midnight, the family was jolted awake by the smell of smoke. Flames engulfed the house, spreading rapidly. George, Jenny, and 4 of their children managed to escape. But 5 children, Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, were trapped inside. George frantically tried to save his children. He broke a window, slicing his arm, and attempted to climb back into the burning house. But the fire was too intense. Desperate, he ran to grab a ladder that always leaned against the side of the house, but the ladder was missing. In a frenzy, he tried to start his trucks to drive closer to the house, but neither would start, despite being in perfect working order the day before. By dawn, the fire had reduced the Sodder home to ashes. The 5 missing children were assumed to have perished in the flames. But as the smoke cleared, strange and troubling details began to emerge. The fire chief, F.J. Morris, suggested that the blaze was so intense that it had cremated the children's bodies completely, leaving no bones or remains. However, this explanation didn't sit well with George and Jenny. They had witnessed the fire firsthand, and they knew that bodies, even in a house fire, do not completely disintegrate. They questioned why there were no remains. In the days leading up to the fire, the Sodders had received a series of strange, anonymous phone calls. One caller warned George that his house would go up in smoke, and your children are going to be destroyed. Despite the town's search efforts, no trace of the children was found. Months later, George and Jenny placed a billboard on Route 16, displaying photos of their missing children, alongside a plea for information and a $5,000 reward, which later increased to $10,000. Rumors swirled, but no leads were solid. Then, 2 years after the fire, a woman claimed to have seen the children looking out of a car window as the fire raged. Another tip came from a woman in a nearby town who said she had seen 4 of the children with 2 strange men. Decades passed, and the mystery remained unsolved. In 1968, more than 20 years after the fire, Jenny received an envelope in the mail. Inside was a photograph of a young man in his 20s with a note reading, "Louis Sodder. I love brother Frankie." The resemblance to their lost son Louis was uncanny, and George and Jenny were convinced this was a sign that their children were still alive. They hired a private investigator to track down the letter's origin, but the investigator vanished, never to be heard from again. George and Jenny spent the rest of their lives searching for their children. They passed away with no answers, and the case remains unsolved to this day. What happened to the Sodder children? Were they victims of a tragic fire, or were they kidnapped, their fate hidden away by some dark conspiracy? The Sodder family's tragic loss and their relentless quest for the truth have captivated generations. Their story is a haunting reminder that some mysteries may never be solved. But one thing is certain: the love of a family endures, even in the face of the unknown. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more unsolved mysteries like this. Thank you for watching.